Good morning. Welcome for early morning yoga practice, which is not quite so early if you have my schedule, where I wake up at 5 and I already have my yoga practice. Now I get to share this practice time with you. We'll also share it with Nakula. Perhaps he'll stay. The other kitties might come in too. So one of the things that we're working with right now is understanding how to be mindful of the mind. Like mindfulness of your own mind is a pretty big skill. You know, yoga can help us to feel better. And that is so wonderful to have a yoga practice where we actually do feel much better. We become aware of internal states of like relaxation or contentment or discovering a quality of ease or translucence. That is so helpful to us. And it's really helpful to learn how to be mindful of the mind, our own mind patterns. Ultimately, we also want to discover that source behind the mindfulness of the mind. What is back there in this big space? I sometimes refer to it that way because it can't be contained. So what is it that is even giving us this opportunity for mindfulness of our own mind? Rumi said it in these words. He said, "What is it that sees through my eyes and hears through my ears? I do not know, but when I get back there," he was saying, when I go back home to that, it's going to be so wonderful or delicious or freeing. I'm just paraphrasing a much longer poem from him. So let's take a seat and come into the place where you sit with stability and ease. Just like my student here, Nakula, be stable, grounded, comfortable. Rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. We're in the period of the day where the dosha, the dominant dosha, is kapha dosha. So that can give you a sense of grounding and stability, but it can also incline you to feel like a little bit lethargic or a little bit apathetic. Sometimes kapha dosha is heavier as a dosha. And for those of you who already got out of bed, you've overcome that hurdle related to kapha dosha. So use your kapha superpower to be grounded now, to sit in the tripod base of your seat. Lift up through the crown of your skull and sit a little bit more in the back hemisphere of your body. And as your breathing welcomes you into your body, into this kind of interior, just notice where the lights are on inside and where they might be a little bit more dim or dull. We're going to do a series of pranayama practices that help to kind of dust off the mind or the head. In fact, they're related to the practice called skull shining, which means to have a radiant mind. They're related to the practices of Kapalabhati. So take notice where there is inner brightness, tejas, and the places where that inner radiance may be dulled or distracted. And with appreciation for your opportunity to practice and for the chance to come together, please join your hands at your heart. And we'll chant Sahana Bhavatu. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidveshavai Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidveshavai Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidveshavai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. You may bow your head to your heart. As you're ready to, you can release your hands. Please open your eyes. So this right now is the unoccupied kitten sofa. Maybe they'll demonstrate later how it turns into a kitten sofa with kittens. We'll see if they come back. So we're going to do these breathing practices that awaken this kind of spark or shining. We call it skull shining. And there's a series of practices that we can do to kind of move energy and basically to pump the blood through the body and to shift the O2, CO2 balance so that you can cultivate a deeply quiet mind to go with that kapha sense of grounding, that there's this light inside this pitta that is radiant enough and guiding your way, not pitta that is like waking up in the kapha period of the morning and using caffeine and news and other stimulus to kind of get going. So not that pitta that runs out into the world to consume things or to make its mark or do its long to-do list in a kind of what we call horizontal or rajasic manner, but rather that we could tap into that inner light to brighten the heart and to awaken our inner sense of knowing in the wise mind. So let's begin with the brisk inhale, brisk exhale. We did this on Sunday. It'll be strong inhale, strong exhale. We'll do that 10 times. And today what we'll do at the end of those 10 breaths is we'll inhale and hold, and then we'll exhale to release. So like this. Inhale, hold. Exhale like you're sighing and releasing the breath quite completely. Allow yourself to sit really still. Repeat that. Inhale to hold. Exhale through the nose, release the practice quite completely. Deeply relax. Okay, now we'll use the arms to help move energy in the body. So we're tapping into what's called Vyana Vayu, which is the circulatory Vayu. So we can make that circulation that brightens the body in this particular time of day. So it's going to be inhale up like this, and you can spread the fingers, and then exhale, you pull down, and you can make fists. And in the process, it's a brisk inhale through the nose and a brisk exhale through the nose, like this. Inhale up and hold the breath. Exhale, float your arms out to the side and allow yourself to deeply relax. And deeply relaxing, let your awareness be curious about awareness itself. Like you're aware of these body sensations, aware of the tingle perhaps. What is gifting you with this awareness? And let's repeat that. So again, strong inhale, strong exhale. Inhale. Exhale, float out to the side. Deeply relax. Relax your mind so it's not narrating your experience to yourself. That is a brisk inhale and a brisk exhale. And now we're going to focus on the exhale part of this process, where we call this actually Kapalabhati. And on Sunday, I was talking about how you could put your hand like this. So you're going to feel the exhale breath touching the back of your hand. It's a strong exhale from the solar plexus and the diaphragm. You're pushing the breath out, almost like blowing out a candle. So that power, you can feel the breath touching the back of the hand in a rhythmic sense like that. You don't need to put your hand here if you don't want to. This strong exhale has a kind of passive inhale, a little wisp of an inhale comes in. You don't need to make the inhale happen. And this will be a little bit longer for the exhales. We'll go about 60 times. And then again, we'll exhale, we'll inhale to suspend, and then we'll release that as well. Let's begin. Exhale. Inhale slowly up to suspension. Release the suspension when you're ready to. And exhale smoothly, like sighing, and then deeply relax. Again, allow your attention, of course, to notice your direct experience, but also be curious what is animating your ability to even have attention. So you become aware of awareness itself. We'll do Kapalabhati one more time. Begin when you're ready to. Exhale completely. Inhale to suspension. Release in your own timing. You can maintain your upright posture, but also allow your body to deeply relax. Now we'll focus on the inhale, and this particular practice is to draw the pitta dosha. So some of what we were just doing might cause pitta to rise, and then that can feel really good, like we're ready for the day. But we want pitta to have its seat in the place that it abides. And pitta here in the stomach and the small intestine at a physical level is to help our digestion. So we can actually burn the foods that we eat and process them to send it down to the small intestine and so on. Pitta also being at home in the solar plexus, we say that all disease comes from undigested food and emotions. So when pitta is home here, we can digest our food and our emotions. When pitta is out in the world, we are not able to digest food, emotions, or experiences. So we end up like accumulating experiences and having the residue of undigested food or the unresolved emotions. And then we kind of just keep going because our culture tells us to. So let's bring pitta into its seat. You can bring the first two fingers into the center of the palm. We're just going to partially close both nostrils. We'll inhale through both nostrils. You'll feel this kind of suctioning inside. You might even feel it in your ears. You're being drawn in. And because you're partially closing the nostrils, the diaphragm has to work more deliberately to come down. So drawing down the pitta dosha to be here. So partially close the nostrils and inhale slowly. Release your hand and exhale like you're sighing. Let's repeat that when you're ready to. Partially close the nostrils. This is called pratyaloma pranayama. Release your hand and exhale. You can release the exhale breath like a little sigh. You don't have to coordinate it. And once more. Allow yourself to deeply relax. And notice the quality of your mind and the curiosity. Where is the source of awareness? I'd like us to finish this pranayama with just 3 rounds of nadi shodhana, which is 6 breath cycles. So we'll inhale left nostril, exhale right, inhale right, and exhale left. And that is my actual left and right. I'm not mirroring you when I say that. So bring your right hand up. This is my actual right hand. I'm not mirroring. And gently close the right nostril. Begin with your inhale left side. And then you'll exhale right side. Of course, we're all at our own pace. When your breath cycle is ready to, you'll inhale right side and continue at the pace that's yours. When you're complete, rest your right hand back in your lap. And now we would aim to bring this, hopefully this balanced quality of mind, this internal equanimity, you've woven it together, the doshas, the chakras, the nadis. We want to bring this into a physical asana practice, really just for the purpose of helping your body sit again more comfortably for meditation. So like I've sat very comfortably in this period of time. I hope that you also have sat comfortably. And then we want to increase our ability to sit in meditation, particularly for the pitta dosha, because it's not inclined to be still and inward when it's going out of balance. Also for vata dosha, it has this amazing capacity for clarity and translucence, and vata can act like a hummingbird or a dragonfly, and it's everywhere, but not really landing anywhere. So we also want our kapha dosha to be available when we sit in meditation, but not to have us falling asleep. So we've prepared the body in terms of the experience of prana and the mind, but now we want to prepare the physical body to have another period of sitting in meditation. So I'm going to recommend that you take the legs out straight like this in front of you. Let me back up. Maybe my toes will be in the camera. Yeah, there they are. Those are my toes. And then place the feet a little bit wide and just shake them like windshield wipers. Do not knock over your water glass. It's right there. And so in that shaking, you're asking the circulation to come back down through the legs because you sat for a time. And so shaking, shaking, shaking. And then lie down for a moment. Okay. So lie on your back. And just watch your body kind of recalibrating the circulation. That's part of Vyana Vayu. It recirculates through the body. Its center is in the heart and the chest. Okay, when you sense that recirculation has occurred, then take the arms out into a T shape like this. Bring your knees up to your chest. And one of the really important practices in the morning is twisting. We call this Jatara Parivartanasana, the churning of the belly. Why is it important? We also want to have the cleansing response of elimination, right? So I don't need to say more about it. I think you know what I'm talking about. Watching out for objects. Let me just check. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so keep the legs together like a unit. Keep the arms out to the side and let's exhale to the right, knees towards your right elbow. Inhale to center. Exhale left. Inhale center. And just going at the pace, it's not a long breath right now. It's more of a supportive breath for the rhythm of churning the belly. You could think of it like if you ever had the chance to churn milk into buttermilk, or maybe you cranked milk into ice cream. You had to keep turning it. As you're going side to side, try to keep it rhythmically smooth, left to right. And go once more to each side, please. Come back to center, touch your feet to the floor, and come back into your starfish position like this. And notice again, there's going to be a circulatory response because when you had your knees up to your chest, you had less circulation going down to your feet. So that's going to return. You were also churning the belly, so you're influencing Samanavayu, which is here in the midsection, and you were influencing Apanavayu. Going to bring those forms of prana into balance. Okay. Bend both knees, please roll to your side and come up to table pose. Yeah. And in table pose, you can face on the long side of your yoga mat if you have a long side. I have a round mat here, so I don't get to have a long side of my mat. Okay. Table pose. Place your hands so they are shoulder width apart. Curl the toes under. Come into plank pose. And again, to move energy at this period of the day and to see to things like balancing apana, samana, and vyana vayu. Let's breathe in, lift the base of the skull, and then exhale, right knee to your right elbow. Inhale smoothly, plank pose. Exhale smoothly, left knee to your left elbow. Inhale, plank. Exhale, right knee. Inhale, plank. Exhale, left knee. Inhale, plank pose. And then reach high into downward dog pose as you exhale. And as you reach back to downward dog pose, Energize from your heart down through your arms into your hands, and from your heart up into your hips and your sitting bones. And then walk your hands and feet to the center and let your torso cascade down over your thighs. You take your two fists and begin to make, this is called tapotment. You go across the back of the calves like this. Go also to the outsides of the shins. So back of the calves, outer shins. And for those who can reach it, you can do the inner calves too. And then the outer thighs and the hamstrings. And the front of the thighs, you can come up towards standing. Outsides of the thighs, the outer hips. Come up to stand, outer hips. And then when you come around to the belly, do it in the direction of digestion and more gently. You don't pound the same on the organs as you do on the muscles and the bones. And then up to the upper chest and down the arm. And the other side. And then let the arms relax. And now you're up to standing. So just take notice, how is energy distributed throughout the whole body? Does it feel like the lights are on in more places? And then reach for 2 yoga blocks. You can place them at the front of your yoga mat. And step to the top of your mat. Join your hands together at your heart. Okay, so for the purpose of then sitting in meditation, right? So as you inhale, root down, sweep your arms wide, rise up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, reach up from chair pose. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Left toes back. Inhale to rise. Exhale, plank pose with your hands on the blocks. Inhale, seal pose. Step over your feet, raise up through your heart. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward dog. Left foot forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, descend, plank pose. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, seal pose. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward dog. And right foot forward, left foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, chair pose, sit down deeply into your hips and pelvis. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, left toes back and left knee down. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. And exhale, plank pose. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, seal pose. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale to rise. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, seal pose. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward dog. And exhale, one foot forward, second foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise. Upward hands pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Uttanasana. Glide forward. Left toes back, left knee down. Now press into your right heel. Inhale, raise up to Anjaneyasana. Exhale, touch the two blocks. And then inhale, straighten both legs, left leg, right leg. And exhale to bow over your right thigh. Smooth out your breathing. Maybe lengthen your inhale or your exhale. And then inhale, raise your chest and your heart so you can straighten your arms. And exhale, bend your right knee. So come back into the base of the lunge pose. And then inhale, rise up to crescent. And we're going to stay and relying on the sense of grounding that kapha dosha provides as we stay and kind of sustain your stamina, your focus, your gaze. You can ask again to be aware of awareness itself. Imagine inside the sort of candle flame of awareness is steady. It doesn't flicker. It lights up just enough for you to see clearly. And as you exhale, sweep your arms wide and touch the two blocks lightly. Then firmly and step into plank pose. So inhale, backwards downward dog. And then exhale, left foot forward. Let's touch the left knee down. Rise up to Anjaneyasana. And then exhale, keep your right knee on the floor, touch the blocks lightly. And let's inhale and move backwards to Parsvottanasana. Encourage both legs to be steady and for your breath possibly to get longer and smoother. And then as you bend your left knee, come into the base of your lunge pose, your crescent lunge. Press into your left heel, raise up to your crescent. And look for the inner stability and stamina. Your kapha dosha provides that, but so does a quiet mind. If you were to picture your attention like a candle flame, you'd want that to be really steady and bright enough to light up the inside, but not like a brush fire that pulls you away. Now follow your exhale, sweep the arms wide, touch the blocks lightly and then firmly. Step to plank pose. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale to plank. Inhale to seal pose. And then exhale. Let's go back to child's pose. Place one block for your head. Rest your forearms on the floor. You can do palms face down. And then walk your hands back to kneeling and come up to Vajrasana. And in Vajrasana, one of our aims here is to sit really still. You're welcome to close your eyes. And just notice your body recalibrating. Now please take a seat on your blanket. And bring the left leg in and your right leg out. And I will mirror you now. So left foot in like this, right leg out to the side. Inhale, raise your arms. Rotate to your right. Exhale, come over your right leg. You may reach for your heel all the way. If you have that kind of body proportion and flexibility, you may reach part way for your heel. Try to keep the left hip grounded on the blanket behind you. You may relax the weight of your head, so there's a kind of inward bowing quality. We don't want the head to feel like it's going in like a tortoise, though. In this case, just an inward sort of bow of the mind to the heart. With an inhale, reach through your left arm and begin to rise up, still facing your right leg. And then exhale, release back to center. Let's pull the right foot in and notice the influence of that pose, like where we came from, what just happened when you take a seat. And bring your right foot in, left leg out. And so you might get a sense, there are some yoga poses that we call tridoshic, right? And so actually this one is tridoshic. It supports all three doshas to come into balance. It's also really helpful for the vayus. And you'll notice that when you come back to your seat, hopefully you have an experience of like the energy is balanced. There's a feeling of equanimity. So raise both arms up. Rotate towards your left leg. Come over. We do kind of bow the head to the heart, but it's not like the head is hanging. So you wouldn't look like a turtle that drew the head in, and your chin is not rushing towards your left knee. But you can think of bowing your head towards your heart as also making a little lift at the base of the skull to support your head. And reach through your right arm. Rise back up to center, and then bring the left leg in. You come to your seat. Notice how your energy is, let's say, organized, right? What is the inner sense? There is a lot of emphasis in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, which is one of the timeless texts of yoga. There's a lot of emphasis in that text about different ways to sit in meditation. A lot of the poses are based on just making your seat possible, including things like lotus pose. So the practice we're just doing there is to help prepare the physiological and the subtle body, as well as the musculoskeletal body, to sit in meditation. I recognize that most of you need Shavasana. you need Shavasana. And so let me ask you to take a short Shavasana, and then we're going to return to sitting. So please lie down. Unless you feel like your meditation, you're kind of in that zone, then just stay with me. Otherwise, you can lie down, please. When you lie down, if you're choosing to do Shavasana, go ahead and be at rest and also warm enough. Cover yourself with a blanket if you need to. Bring awareness to the first chakra, whether you're sitting or reclined. Lam, 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 lam. I will sing to you, you can receive. Lam, 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 lam. 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 And bring awareness to your second chakra, whether you're reclined or sitting. Wam, 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 wam. 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 Bring awareness to the third chakra, whether you're reclined or sitting. Ram, 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 ram. 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 Second chakra. Wam, 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 wam. Wam, 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 wam. First chakra. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, 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 lam. And if you have been resting in Shavasana,
Yeah, my way and her way.
Okay, so my way's better.
No, it's not. She goes too fast.
Okay, but I'm getting to the afternoon. So look, I need to get a hard.
make the transition that you'll need to return to sitting. If you've been sitting, then just please stay as you are. And rest in the interior, like the flame of pitta alights the flame of the heart, alights the flame of the mind, the wisdom of the mind. The breath may be very subtle, hardly perceptible. And withdraw your attention from the body and the breath and draw it further back, kind of receding into the interior, asking again, what is the source of awareness itself? Encourage your mind to be steady in the inquiry. What is the source of awareness itself? You don't need to answer the question. The question takes you to that which can't be answered with words. You simply rest in the silence. Please raise your hands to your heart, and you can chant in the echo of what I sing to you. The translation of this chant is, even if you subtract consciousness from consciousness, still consciousness remains. If you try to subtract wholeness from wholeness, still wholeness remains. If you try to subtract peace from peace, even so, peace remains. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnata Purnamudachyate Purnata Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate Purnameva Vashishate Om Shanti 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 Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. When you're ready to, you can open your eyes.